10 billion passengers, 60 years, 0 fatal accidents. A train that leaves the station every 3.5 minutes. Average delay, less than 1 minute. Not per trip, per year. Germany, 37% of their long-distance trains arrived late last year. The UK, 1 in 3 delayed. Japan, 99% on time, measured in seconds, not minutes. This is the Shinkansen, and this is why Japan's trains are the best in the world. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what makes Japan's rail system a class of its own. Backed by data. Every claim verified. People say Japan's trains are the best in the world. But what does best actually mean? It's not just about speed. China's bullet trains are technically faster. It's not about having the biggest network. Europe has more total rail track. And it's definitely not about price. Japanese trains are more expensive per kilometer than most European alternatives. So what makes Japan different? It's the combination. Speed, punctuality, safety, frequency, cleanliness, and a culture of operational perfection that no other country on Earth has been able to replicate. Let's break it down with the data. October 1st, 1964, 9 days before the Tokyo Olympics, Japan launches the world's first high-speed rail service. The Tokaido Shinkansen, connecting Tokyo to Osaka, 515 kilometers in 4 hours flat. At the time, the world was betting on highways and aviation. The United States was building interstate freeways. Europe was expanding airports. Japan went the other way. They bet on trains. And it worked. That first year, 61,000 passengers rode the Shinkansen every single day. Within a decade, Japan extended the line to Hakata in Fukuoka. Then came the Tohoku and Jotsu lines in 1982. The Nozomi Express in 1992 cut Tokyo to Osaka to just 2 hours and 30 minutes. Hokuriku, Kyushu, Hokkaido, line after line, decade after decade. Today, the Shinkansen network stretches nearly 3,000 kilometers across Japan. It has carried over 10 billion cumulative passengers since 1964. And it did something no one predicted. It proved that high-speed rail could be faster, safer, and more profitable than flying. The Tohoku Shinkansen's E5 Hayabusa runs at 320 kilometers per hour. That's 199 miles per hour. The Tokaido line, Japan's busiest, operates at 285 kilometers per hour. But raw top speed isn't what makes Japan's trains remarkable for speed. It's the frequency. The Tokaido Shinkansen runs up to 17 trains per hour during peak times. One bullet train every 3.5 minutes. On a single corridor. 378 trains per day, every day. And every single one arrives within seconds of its scheduled time. Think about that. 17 departures per hour means you never need to plan around a train schedule. You just show up and go. No reservation required for unreserved cars. No hour-long check-in. No security theater. Walk onto the platform, board the next train, and you're doing 300 kilometers per hour within minutes. Tokyo to Osaka in 2 hours and 21 minutes. City center to city center. Try doing that with a flight. This is the stat that defines Japan's rail system. The average delay on the Tokaido Shinkansen is less than 1 minute per train. Not per day, per train. The historical best was 36 seconds in 2008. And here's what makes that number even more impressive. Japan measures delays in seconds, not minutes. Seconds. Now compare that to other countries. Germany's Deutsche Bahn reported that 37.5% of long-distance trains were late in 2024. And Germany defines late as arriving more than 6 minutes after the scheduled time. 6 minutes. If Japan used that same 6-minute threshold, their on-time rate would be essentially 100%. The UK? About 85% of trains arrive within 3 minutes. America's Amtrak? 72% arrive within 15 minutes. 15 minutes. France's TGV manages about 88% within 5 minutes. And China's high-speed rail runs at roughly 95% on time. But none of them come close to Japan's 99%, measured in seconds, not minutes. There's a reason Japanese train companies issue formal apology letters when a train departs 20 seconds early. The standard isn't punctuality, it's perfection.
If you're finding this interesting, consider subscribing. We break down the data behind the world's transport systems every week. No fluff, just numbers. Hit subscribe and let's keep going.
In 60 years of operation, the Shinkansen has never had a single passenger fatality from a collision or derailment. Not one. Over 10 billion passengers. 0 deaths. No other high-speed rail system in the world can make that claim. How? It starts with dedicated infrastructure. Shinkansen tracks are completely separated from conventional rail. No level crossings. No shared freight traffic. No chance of a car or truck wandering onto the tracks. The system is designed so that collisions are, by engineering, categorically impossible. Then there's the earthquake early warning system. Japan sits on one of the most seismically active regions on Earth. The Shinkansen has seismometers installed every 15 kilometers along its tracks, plus coastal stations monitoring for offshore quakes. When the system detects fast-moving P waves, the harmless tremors that arrive before destructive shaking, it automatically cuts power and triggers emergency braking across the entire network. In 2011, when the magnitude 8.9 Tohoku earthquake hit, the system detected the quake 12 to 15 seconds before the shaking reached the tracks. 33 Shinkansen trains were stopped automatically. 0 casualties. On a network carrying hundreds of thousands of passengers at that exact moment. And the computers never sleep. Automatic train control continuously monitors every train's speed and position, applying brakes instantly if any train exceeds the safe limit for its track section. Technology keeps the trains safe. Culture is what keeps them perfect. When a Shinkansen arrives at Tokyo Station, the turnaround time is 12 minutes. Passengers exit and board in 5. Then a team of 22 workers has exactly 7 minutes to completely clean every car, pick up every piece of trash, wipe every surface, flip 100 seat backs to face forward, clean the restrooms, check overhead racks for forgotten items. 7 minutes. 120 times per day. Harvard Business School wrote a case study about it. CNN named it the 7-minute miracle. Then there's Shisakenko, pointing and calling. A 100-year-old safety technique where workers physically point at indicators and verbally confirm their status out loud. It looks unusual to outsiders. But Japan's Railway Technical Research Institute found it reduces human errors by 85%, from 2.38 errors per 100 actions down to 0.38. And becoming a Shinkansen driver takes a minimum of 5 to 7 years. 2 years as station staff, 2 as a conductor, multiple years on conventional trains, then specialized Shinkansen training with emergency simulations. The standard isn't competence, it's mastery. Japan's total rail network stretches 27,700 kilometers, 8,500 stations, 48 different rail operators, all integrated into a single ticketing and timetable system. In Greater Tokyo alone, 40 million rail trips happen every single day across 158 lines. Shinjuku Station handles 3.5 million passengers daily. That's the entire population of Berlin passing through one building. Every day, the Shinkansen covers nearly 3,000 kilometers, connecting most major cities across Japan's main islands. But what makes the network special isn't just its size, it's the seamless integration. Shinkansen stations connect directly to local metro, suburban rail, and bus systems. You step off a bullet train doing 300 kilometers per hour and walk straight onto a local subway without leaving the station. IC cards like Suica and Pasmo work across virtually every train, bus, and subway in the country. One card, every operator, every city. No fumbling with tickets, no figuring out different systems. Just tap and go. So how does Japan compare to every other rail system on the planet? Against China, 45,000 kilometers of high-speed track versus Japan's 3,000. China's trains hit 350 kilometers per hour. Their fares are roughly 4 cents per kilometer, a fraction of Japan's 17 cents. On scale, speed, and price, China dominates. But Japan wins everywhere else. Punctuality, 99% versus China's estimated 95%. Safety, 0 fatalities across 60 years. Frequency, 17 trains per hour versus China's 10 on its busiest corridors. And the service quality, the cleaning, the precision, the operational culture isn't even close. Against Europe, the gap is wider still. Germany ran 37% of long-distance trains late in 2024. France's TGV, about 12% late. UK Rail, around 15%. Japan's network is smaller, but on reliability, safety, and operational excellence, Europe isn't in the same league. And the numbers tell the story. Japan's rail modal share is 30.9%, nearly a third of all passenger travel. In America, 0.6%. Japan moves roughly 50 times more of its population by rail. And JR Central posted a 40% operating margin in 2024, about $11.4 billion in revenue. This isn't a subsidized public service running at a loss. It's one of the most profitable rail operations on Earth. Japan isn't finished. The ALFAX test train has already hit 382 kilometers per hour, with a target commercial speed of 360. The E10 series based on ALFAX technology is expected to enter service by 2030. But the real moonshot is the Shinkansen, a magnetic levitation line connecting Tokyo to Nagoya, then eventually Osaka. The L0 series Maglev set a world speed record of 603 kilometers per hour in 2015. That's faster than a commercial airplane at cruising altitude. The project has faced delays, originally planned for 2027. It's now expected no earlier than 2035 due to tunnel construction challenges in Shizuoka Prefecture. Costs have risen to 11 trillion yen. But when it opens, it will cut the Tokyo to Nagoya journey to just 40 minutes. Currently, that trip takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes by Shinkansen. The Maglev will do it in less than half the time. Speed, punctuality, safety, culture, network, innovation. Japan's trains aren't the best in the world because of one thing. They're the best because of everything. No other country combines all 6 at this level. Not China, not France, not Germany, and definitely not the United States. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more data-driven transport analysis every week. I'll see you in the next one.